Sa Calobra is arguably one of Mallorca's most famous climbs. But how does it stack up in the real world compared to the virtual world? I'm out here in Mallorca to take on this infamous climb, while Dave, plus a few others, are taking it on in the virtual world. We'll then compare numbers and times. Let's see how this goes. Nine and a half K in length, with an average gradient of 7%, plus a whole host of amazing hairpins and amazing views, to be honest. There's no wonder it's a highlight of anyone's trip to Mallorca. It does get busy though, so tackle it in the morning. To be honest, if I can get anywhere under half an hour, I'll be pretty happy. Anyway, Dave, how's it feeling in the virtual world?
We've set this one up as a week-long challenge so that anyone on the RGT platform can have a go. We want to get enough data together to see how it compares to Brad doing it in the real world. The RGT climb is a magic road and it's made with a GPX trace of the real climb. But how realistic is it? Let's find out. For my part, I've got a Saris H3 trainer here and an MP1 Infinity platform for maximum realism. And on top of that, I've got my Cannondale Topstone gravel bike. Now, the gravel bike's not what I choose to do the climb in real life. This is a really comfy bike. It's perfect for an indoor challenge like this. RGT's magic roads won't give me quite the spectacular scenery that Brad's going to get, but the gradients are the same. I'm sure it's going to hurt just as much. Anyway, he'll probably be staring at his stem for half of it.
Well, Dave's got a pretty sweet indoor setup. I can't really complain. I've got the Cannondale Synapse 2RL. It's not as an aggressive bike as I would normally ride, especially not for this kind of climbing effort. It's not known for its climbing prowess. However, I reckon it's a pretty versatile bike and I'm looking forward to seeing how well it performs. We'll talk a little bit more about the bike towards the end of the video. Sa Calobra, I'm aiming for 30 minutes. And for that kind of effort, it's pretty much an FTP. Now you want to get a good warm up in, get those legs working beforehand. And what you also need to focus on and think about is your nutrition, fueling properly. A good meal, a couple hours before, and then just top it up with a bit of energy. I'm going to be smashing a Named Sport Gel just before I go. And then I've got this HydroFit in the bottle, keeping me topped up as I go along. To be honest, it's going to be the last third that absolutely kills me. I reckon it will anyway. Right, where were we? That's right, me against Dave, outdoor versus indoor. Should we get on with it, Dave?
Yeah, when you're ready. And anyway, I've got a whole week set of time, so if this one doesn't pan out, I can have another pop.
Right then, 3, 2, 1, let's do this. It's always hard on an effort like this not to go too hard from the start. The pain is going to come. It's always going to come. Don't chase the pain.
It's really tempting to go off too hard, but I know I'll pay for it later. So I'm going to try and keep myself in check, settle in for the long haul.
Such an amazing place to come and do an effort. You know, I'd rather do an FTP test on a hill like this, or any kind of effort on a hill like this, than my turbo at home. Sorry, Dave.
Maybe a quarter of the way up now. I'm trying to keep the power on, trying to stay hydrated, but I'm really starting to struggle, and the top seems like a long way away right now.
Fortunately, I have things like this absolute wonder scene to keep me motivated and to keep me pushing.
Yeah, Brad's probably been through that nice cavern bit right about now. There's certainly more landmarks to hit. Here indoors, it's more of a numbers game, but I'm just gonna keep it steady, work my way up to the top.
Now, as much fun as the switchbacks are riding, I can imagine David having maybe a bit of an easier time on them. Take a bit more thought on the road, I think anyway. One thing about the outside is when the sun does shine, it gives you that, it's like an energy gel. Just nudged over 10 minutes. I have to say I'm feeling it. I'm feeling I may have gone about a bit too hard at the start. Error, but I have to conserve the energy now. Look at the effort, just crack on. When you see someone on a climb, it's ace. You can kind of see how they're doing, see how you're doing. That gives you that motivation. You're kind of enjoying it together, but suffering at the same time.
Now this is an open challenge, so that means anyone can do it anytime. Looking at the screen in front of me, I can see there's a couple of riders a bit further up the hill, but in all honesty, I don't think I'm going to make the catch.
These switchbacks, man, they really take it out of you. Just that little change in the percent. Oh man. Got about 2k to go. Should be tight to hit half an hour. So want it though.
Inside the final couple of K now. And I'm completely empty. Power's dropped right off. I'm just surviving. The end can't come soon enough now. That's brutal. Oh, completely spent. There's not going to be enough to beat Brad though, I know it.
That was horrible. That last 200 metres is killer. You think you get to the top because you're at the little spiral bit and you go through the bridge, but it's not the end. You've got like another 250 metres and that is the bit that kills. Oh, I was doing all right and then just lost it right at the end there. I think I just got outside of what I wanted to get, but yeah, don't really have much left to give, to be honest.
So Brad, I never really felt like this was going to be much of a contest. This one, what was your time?
I did it in 30 minutes, 13 seconds.
Oh, I just missed out on the half hour.
Yeah,
I did it in 41:03, which I was pretty happy with, to be honest. It was about 3.5 watts per kilo, which is good for me. And on this graph that I can show you now, we can have a look at everybody's effort. So over 200 people did it on RGT. We've got a lovely trend line showing how much power you put out and how fast you go. And this is you right at the top. But you're on the trend line, which suggests that the real life experience is very similar to the RGT experience. So you go as hard and you go as fast, which is good. I'm respectable mid-table, we won't talk about me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I did give it a good crack, I won't lie. And we were smart about it, and something that you don't necessarily need to think about in the virtual world is that we went early. Kind of got there early morning, beat the traffic, beat the tourists, because they are thin roads and it builds up throughout the day. So one recommendation, if you do want to give it a good crack, get there early.
And you did it on the Cannondale Synapse. Now, obviously, that's not necessarily what you'd think of as a hill climb bike, but if you were going up at a busy part of the day, then, you know, the SmartSense daytime running lights and that integrated Garmin Vario radar, they had a bit of safety and visibility.
Yeah, no, I was impressed. For something that's not specifically built for a hill climb, it got me up there, and it got me up there really, really close to what I wanted to get. So, no, it felt good, and the power transfer is good, and I had... Well, we were both wearing the Bont Helix.
Yeah,
and
mine are a bit tidier than yours
a little bit, but yeah, they've been through it. But yeah, no, the power transfer is good. They're stiff and kind of, it really does kind of get through that foot, through the pedal, and gets you up where you need to be for a 30-minute effort or so.
Yeah, you certainly don't feel like you're wasting anything, do you?
No, exactly. So it was good to have these on board and kind of get me up there as quick as I could.
And in terms of the whole experience, I mean, it just looks like the most beautiful road.
Yes, I had the benefit of having to be able to go down the climb before I come back up. It's lovely to be able to see it and experience it, and if you do want to then give it an effort, you can kind of get back up and give it a good crack, but you at least can enjoy it on the way down.
Not quite as magnificent on RGT, but actually it does a really good job of it. Lots of like cliffs, lots of interest along the way, and even the little loop bit.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, you don't see the road over the top of you, and then it sort of magically appears, so it really is a magic road at that point.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, no, it was lovely. It's a brilliant climb, and it looks like there might actually be a hill climb competition next year by a guy called Jan Erik, who runs a little cafe, Samala 13. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, if that happens, we'll try and get out for that and get a video done.
Yeah, no, it would be good. I'd love to go under sub 30, so it needs to happen.
Cool. Thanks for watching this video. If you've got any questions about Mallorca or anything that we've done, ask them in the comments below, we'll get them answered for you. And if you want to see Brad doing 312k in Mallorca and me doing it in my spare room, that video is coming up now. Cheers for watching.